Hi, everybody. It's time for Passover. That's right. I'm wearing my matzah dress. I'm holding my Kveller Haggadah. Yeah, I am. Let's get this Passover party started. Passover commemorates the Israelite exodus from slavery in Egypt, but it wouldn't be a Jewish holiday without tons of rules.
If you break any of these rules, you can't sit with us at lunch.
This holiday lasts 8 days and requires us to do so many things. We traditionally rid our houses of anything with leaven, or these 5 biblical grains: oats, rye, wheat, spelt, and barley. Preparing for Passover involves lots of rules, cleaning every cabinet, every nook and cranny in your whole house. So it's actually our spring cleaning holiday. It's also the holiday where a festive but very orderly meal, lest it be too festive and fun, called a Seder, which literally means order, kicks off this 8-day shindig, which is one of the 3 big deal biblical pilgrimage festivals, i.e., this is a religious holiday. 2 days up front, 2 days at the end. Unless you're in Israel, they only have to do 1 and 1. Anyway, Passover is our spring extravaganza, so make way for eggs and parsley, because we Jews really know how to party it up, and this holiday proves it.
Hey, bud, let's party.
The first 2 nights, we have a Seder with 100,000,000 parts to it. Think of an old school Greek meal with lots of courses, formalities, washing of hands, lots of symbolism, and lots of talking. Questions, answers, alternate interpretations, debates, all that stuff.
Yada, yada, yada.
And we eat symbolic foods which represent spring. Cue the eggs and parsley, but we also eat foods that symbolize tears and slavery and oppression because #Jews.
That escalated quickly.
Cue the salt water, and charosis, which looks like mortar but tastes like a Middle Eastern harvest gone wild. Nuts and wine and apples. Oh my! The Seder actually is an opportunity for us all to experience the kind of Socratic old school philosophy vibe, which our tradition holds so important. What we do is we take phrases from the Torah and we explore what the rabbis from 2,000 years ago actually thought the verses meant. It's very interesting for those of us so inclined to the Socratic method, and for everyone else, that's what the 4 cups of wine are for. Am I right? We do all the parts of the Seder. There's actually 15. In my family, this takes about 4.5 hours start to finish. In many families, it goes all night long, like Lionel Richie would have wanted it.
Fiesta forever.
And in other families, it lasts basically as long as it takes to serve dinner, and that's fine too. There are all these songs we sing. There's the famous 4 questions, which are asked by the youngest member of the house who's not too shy to do so.
Have you ever had a dream that you want?
We do skits recounting the exodus from slavery in Egypt, and in our home, my sons and I historically reenact the whole story of Moses from his escape in a basket down the Nile all the way to the parting of the Sea of Reeds with Playmobil characters.
Yes, love that journey for me.
We hide a piece of matzah, that's the weird cardboard tasting bread, as the culmination of the meal, because who doesn't like to end the meal with a scavenger hunt for a piece of flour and water baked for no more than 18 minutes, which tastes more like the box it comes in than anything edible or digestible. There's a lot of praising God at the Seder. There's an opening of the door for the spirit of the prophet Eliyahu to come in. Oh, who's Eliyahu? Well, Eliyahu will signal the coming of the Messiah by tearing across the skies in a chariot of flames, of course.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
The least we can do is let him in to drink our leftover Manischewitz. You know, standard meals with the Jews stuff. Open the door for a spirit to signal the coming of the Messiah. In all seriousness, this holiday is part of our people's survival, because it allows us to remember not to get too comfortable. Not to get too comfortable because we used to be slaves. And also not to get too comfortable because guess what? Other people are still enslaved. The Haggadah, which is the book that takes you through the Seder, here's the Kveller version, which I highly recommend, talks a lot about freedom and slavery. And I used to think about how we can be enslaved to money. We can be enslaved to fame. We can be enslaved to things we're addicted to. But I generalized this concept and found that Judaism can add so much to life conceptually. And as I've matured, I now know that the Passover story reminds us to free those who are enslaved because it's our religious and spiritual duty. There are millions of people being trafficked all over the world. People of color are enslaved by systemic racism and injustice. Women remain enslaved in many places around the world with no one to protect them or to restore their dignity. The world is broken, and we are none of us free, if not all of us are free. You know how I know? It's all in the order of things. Chag Pesach kasher v'sameach. Happy, kosher, beautiful Passover.